Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be simplifying a radical expression. We have square root of 3 plus square root of 2 minus 2 all over square root of 6 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 2. So we're going to go ahead and simplify this expression and write it in the simplest form. I'll be presenting two methods, and let's start with the first one. Now, my first method is going to be a little bit painful, but I'm going to skip some steps. Hopefully, you can do those in your own time if you want, but those are time-consuming steps, so I'm just going to give you the results. Okay? So, let's see. So, we're going to go ahead and divide this guy by this. Now, what kind of expression are you expecting when you divide something that has square root of 3, square root of 2, square root of 6, and a number in it, an integer? So here's the type of answer that we're supposed to get from here. We're going to get a square root of 6, or we might. So let's say the answer is going to be in the form a times the square root of 6 plus b times the square root of 3 plus c times the square root of 2 plus d. Okay, so I expect to get something like that. It doesn't mean we're going to have all of those, but we're going to have to consider all the possibilities. So here's what we need to do next. Cross multiply and set it equal to the numerator. So we're going to have something like that looks like this. Square root of 3 plus square root of 6 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 2. Multiply by a root 6 plus b root 3 plus c root 2 plus d. And that's just going to bug me forever, so let me fix it. And then this is supposed to equal the numerator, which is root 3 plus root 2 minus 2. Okay? So, now here's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to distribute everything, right? So this over that, this over this. So you're going to have like 3 times 4, 12 terms. And then you're going to get something like this. Let me tell you real quick what type of terms you're going to be getting. You're going to get 6a plus b root 18 plus c root 12 plus d root 6. And then I'm just going to try to align the next terms. 3b plus a root 18 plus d root 3 plus c root 6. And you're going to see why I'm aligning root 12 and root 3 together. Maybe you already have it. Minus 2c minus d root 2 minus a root 12 minus b root 6. Now let me tell you why we're aligning root 12 and root 3, because root 12, as you know, is 2 root 3. That's why they are basically of the same kind. So you're supposed to add these up, but when you add these up, obviously, when they're aligned, it's easier. And notice that b root 18 is going to be basically b times 3 root 2, and that is 3b times root 2. So you have to consider when you add the coefficient of root 2 here. To keep a long story short, here's what you're going to get from here. C plus d minus b root 6 plus 2c, or not 2c, minus 2a plus d times root 3 plus 3a plus 3b minus d times root 2 plus 6a plus 3b minus 2c. And this is supposed to equal root 3 plus root 2 minus 2. And this gives us basically the coefficients. So this number is supposed to be 0. This number is supposed to be 1, because notice that we don't have a root 6, but we do have a root 3 here. And the coefficient of root 2 is supposed to be 1, and our constant is supposed to be negative 2. And guess what this gives you? This gives you a system of equations. There are 4 equations, so it looks like this. C plus d minus b is equal to 0. 2c minus 2a plus d, not b, plus d is equal to 1. 3a plus 3b minus d is equal to 1. And 6a plus 3b minus 2c is equal to negative 2. That's basically a system with 4 variables, and there are 4 equations. We can solve this system, but let me just tell you, Wolfram Alpha can do it, or you can just do it on your own for fun. And here's what you get from here. A equals 0, b equals 0, c equals 1, and d equals negative 1. Obviously, you can just plug these in and check my work. Let me know if I made any mistakes. And this gives you the answer in the simplest form. So the form of the answer we were expecting was like this, right? So it was a root 6 plus b root 3 plus c root 2 plus d. And since we got the values of a, b, c, d, we can go ahead and plug it in. There's no root 6 because a is 0. There's no root 3 because b is 0. But c is 1, so you're going to get root 2 minus 1 as the answer. To keep a long story short again, square root of 3 plus square root of 2 minus 2 divided by root 6. I don't know why I keep writing root 3. Root 6 plus root 3 minus root 2 is equal to root 2 minus 1 in the simplest form. If you don't believe that, you can go ahead and cross multiply, and that's actually how I came up with this problem. I took an expression, I took another expression, multiplied together, that gave me the numerator, and here you go. Here's a math problem. It's as easy as that. Let's go ahead and talk about the second method real quick, and hopefully this also shows you how you can make your own problems. Okay. So here's the second method. For my second method, obviously, I'm going to use a less time-consuming and less ugly approach. I know the first method is very messy and I don't know, it's crazy. Probably something that no one will use. But why did we do it? Just for fun. Okay. Now, my second method, obviously, and you probably already guessed, depends on conjugates, right? Okay, so we're going to rationalize the denominator. And when you have something like a minus b, you got to multiply it by a plus b to take advantage of difference of two squares. So we're going to multiply this by root 6 plus root 3 plus root 2 divided by the same thing, so that we're basically multiplying by 1. But if you consider this and that, you know what I'm going to talk about. These two are multiplied and gives us difference of two squares. But guess what? We have to do it again. Okay. So anyways, so you're going to distribute those, and you're going to get something from there. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay. We're going to get root 18 plus 3 plus root 6 plus root 12 plus root 6 plus 2 minus 2 root 6 minus 2 root 3 minus 2 root 2. Okay, that's going to be a really long line, so let's take advantage of Desmos. I mean notability. I keep saying Desmos. Root 6 plus root 3 squared minus root 2 squared, which is 2. Okay, that's it. Now let's go ahead and simplify this a little bit. How? Root 6 cancels out, and then this is 2 root 3, and that also cancels out. Okay, and this is 3 root 2. Now let's see. I have 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2, that is a root 2. And then I have 3 plus 2, which is 5. So it's 5 plus root 2 is the numerator, 5 plus root 2. And the bottom is going to be, let's go ahead and square this, 6 plus 3 plus 2 root 18 minus 2. This is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. This is 3 root 2. Multiply by 2, it's going to become 6 root 2. So we're basically dividing this radical by another radical, and let's go ahead and rationalize the denominators one more time. Okay, now I'm not using a 5, I'm using a 7 minus 6 root 2 divided by 7 minus 6 root 2. Okay, let's go ahead and distribute one more time and you'll be surprised. 35 minus 30 root 2 plus 7 root 2 minus 6 times 2, which is 12, divided by 7 times 7 is 49, minus 36 times 2, which is 72. That comes from difference of two squares. Great, let's go ahead and simplify this. 35 minus 12 is 23, and this is minus 23 root 2. Does that tell you something? Yes, hopefully. And this is negative 23. Yay, everything checks out. Now let's take out a negative 23 factor. So that gives us root 2 minus 1 in the numerator. Yay, everything works. That's what is beautiful about math, because math is just awesome, don't you think? Everything cancels out pretty much except for the answer, and that is square root of 2 minus 1. And where does that come from? Root 3 plus root 2 minus 2 divided by root 6 plus root 3 minus root 2. And this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you next time with another video. Until then, be safe, take care, and bye-bye.